Hey guys, TinkerCad instruction, that's what we're going to spend the next week on. So for those of you that are in my class, right, this first part is for you. You're going to come in and in our week 4 TinkerCad folder, this is where our assignments are placed, okay? You're going to come into the Monday folder, and I will update the dates, don't worry about that. And you're going to click on TinkerCad Lesson 1 because you want to look at the requirements before you jump into the video. But you're already in the video, but I mean, I want to show you the requirements before I jump into the actual TinkerCad instruction part of the video. So if I click on TinkerCad Lesson 1, all right, this is what it's asking me to do. Click here to watch the video. First it's telling me how to log in. I'm going to show you how to do that in a minute. We have our own specific link in our virtual classroom. But I want you to watch the video, change the name of the file to assignment 1, update the grid to inches. You're going to use the ruler. You're going to create an object with the following dimensions: 3-inch length, 5-inch height, and 4.6-inch width. And when you finish, I want you to look at the other shapes. Put your favorite one on the work plane. Now, some of that's going to sound like Greek to some of you, Spanish, Chinese, whatever language is hard for you, right? But it'll all make sense in a little bit. And I'm going to score it based off a rubric. Pretty simple rubric. There's clear evidence you watched the video because you hit all the options, right? You change the assignment name, you updated the grid, you have the proper dimensions on the object, and you put your favorite shape on the work plane. Nice, easy one to start us out. So head back into the main page here, right? And you're going to click on the TinkerCad link right here. Now, if you've already created the login, a couple weeks ago when I asked you to, it's going to take you right in. You're good to go. For some of you, it might pop up with a box that says, "That's me." Awesome. Others of you, if you haven't logged in, you're going to have the option to log in down at the bottom. Pick on the letter G. Click on the letter G that says Google, and you're going to log in with your Capital account. All right. Now, once you're in TinkerCad here, this is where, if you've never been in here before, you won't have any designs. You'll have nothing here. And that's okay. I have designs because I've been in here before, right? So what I want you to do is just take a look, right? You've got classes, gallery, blog. Actually, you wouldn't have classes. That's a teacher account. But you have these options up top here. This little robot always sends you home, always brings you back here. You want to make sure you're on 3D Designs over to the left and go ahead and click Create New Design. And this is going to open up a blank canvas for us to work on. Now, I'm going to give you a quick overview of some things, and I'm going to move my little box over here. Okay, I think I did. I don't know where I went, but I'll move it in post. Here's what TinkerCad looks like. Let me just give you a quick overview of some of the options, and then I'll jump into today's lesson. If you are on a touchpad, touchpads are a little bit harder than an actual mouse. Well, for me, I'm old school. I like a mouse. If you have a mouse, grab a mouse. It's a whole lot easier. If you don't have a mouse, you can move this entire work plane around. So like when you have a shape, and you can rotate the entire work plane. And this box here, this cube, I should say, will let you know whether it's the top, front, back, right, left, of the work plane. Now, if you ever get all mixed up and you're not sure, you can come down here and click this home button, and it will always take you back to this home view with the work plane in the lower left-hand corner. Okay? We do have some zoom in and zoom out buttons right here, the plus and minus. So if I just dropped something on the screen here, if I clicked the plus, I could zoom in, and if I click the minus, I can zoom out. Now, if you're on a regular mouse like I am, you can use the scroll wheel. The scroll wheel will zoom you in, and the scroll wheel will zoom you out. Okay? This down here is the switches you back and forth between perspective and orthographic. I would leave it in perspective. Orthographic tends to be a little more two-dimensional. I would leave it in that perspective. In that perspective view. And this right here just means fit everything into view. So if you were like really zoomed in, if I click on this button, it will fit everything into view and try to center it as much as possible. And if I click the home button, it'll take me right back out to that. Okay. Across the top, you have some different items that you want to get used to. You've got copy and paste up here. You'll also see the keyboard shortcuts when you hover over them, Control-C and Control-V. You've got duplicate here. We'll talk about that in a future video. This is your delete. So if I click delete, it will take it away. You could also hit the delete key on your keyboard. You can also right-click and delete. And then this is your undo button. This is your friend. I didn't want to delete that. I messed up. Hit the undo button. It comes right back. Okay. What else do I want to show you today? Oh, the ruler. I want to show you the ruler. So this is where the ruler is. But let's just jump right in it, right? So you've watched the video, you're watching the video, and if you watch it from start to finish, you'll have a pretty easy time with this assignment. This right here, Fantabulous Stantia Jarv. TinkerCad gives these crazy names to everything. That way everything stays unique and nothing is ever duplicated, right? But what I want you to do is change it to assignment 1. So all you're going to do is literally click right on it and then just type in the name assignment 1. Now what I would do is if I was you, is I would pause the video right now and go type in assignment 1 and then come back and continue. And now that you've typed in assignment 1, if you click off, that's it. It's done, right? The next thing in your rubric that I want you to do is update the grid. Now what does that mean? Well, down here in the lower right hand corner, the grid is either in millimeters, metric, or inches, English standard, right? So what I want you to do for today is I want you to update the grid in inches because most of you think in inches as opposed to millimeters or centimeters, right? We here in America use that. I wish we didn't, but we do. So what you're going to do is you're going to hit Edit Grid. You're going to click the drop down right here and you're going to select inches. And then you're going to hit Update Grid. So let me walk through that one more time. Edit Grid. Click the drop down, select inches, and then click Update Grid. And if I were you, I'd pause the video and go do that now. Now what you notice down here in the bottom is underneath it, it says Snap Grid. If you click that, you see you can either turn it off or you can go from 1/8 of an inch all the way down to a 64th of an inch, which is really, really fine. But what that does is that literally snaps it to a line. So like if I clicked 1/64th and clicked on this button and I used my arrow keys to move it, every time I click the arrow key, it's moving a 64th of an inch. Okay? And if I wanted to turn that off, let's see if it actually moves when I click the arrows now. Now it's not even moving when I click the arrows. See that? Because it's not snapping anywhere. Now I can still slide it around, but it's not going to snap into a line and give me a specific measurement. If I turn that back on, I can slide it again. I always have it on. I always put it to the smallest because I like that fine movement. Sometimes you have to change it depending upon your design. Okay? Now, the one thing I do want to show you today too is you can change your color, and I'll show you this in a future video, but if you don't like the color of the object, you click right here where it says solid. You can pick any color you want. And if you have more than one object on the screen, you can click the little multicolor, like if you group them together, you can click that multicolor object and you can do that. Okay? All right. Now, what's the next thing here? Proper dimensions. So I'm going to show you how to use the ruler. You notice when I was clicking on that and if I was dragging these out, you see how the numbers are changing? Those are its dimensions. This is 1.7 inches by 2.4, right? But if I want exact dimensions, I'm going to come up here and I'm going to click on the ruler and I'm just going to drag it down and drop it on the work plane. It doesn't matter where on the work plane. It doesn't matter if you can actually just click and click, but I just normally just drag it down. And sometimes I'll just put it down here in the corner because, I have that, OCD, I could just like it down there, but it doesn't matter where it is. It works the same. Now, one thing I want to point out here, the dimensions, that's your measurements, your length, your width, and your height are always shown by these double arrows, this line, just like in math class, the number line. It's got the arrow on both sides because it goes forever. Okay, this is your length, your width, and your height. So I would consider the way we're looking at it, this one the width and this one the length, but really they can be interchangeable. It just depends on which view you're having of it, which one's your length and width. Your height is always how tall it is from the ground up. And this 0 right here, that means the object is sitting right on the ground. Okay, so if that's 0, if I click on this little cone here and raise it up, see how that goes up? That means I'm raising it off the ground and you can actually see a shadow at that point. So what I'm going to do is just type 0 in and hit enter so I can put that back down on the ground. Now, one thing I did forget to tell you is your right click button. If you right click on the mouse button, you can rotate left and right like this. Okay? But you can also go up here and click on this and rotate left and right. Okay. And again, if it gets out of whack, just hit the home button and it brings it right back down to here. Okay. So again, I don't care what shape you use. Pick a shape on there, any shape. And we're going to change its dimensions. So we want a 3-inch length. So in this particular case, this is my 3 inches. I could grab this corner handle. That's what these white boxes are called. They're called corner handles. I could drag it and try to get 3. But that is just a pain. Because look, see how it jumps from 2.8 to 2.9? Oh, I almost got it. Oh, 3.016. I'm not going to sit here and frustrate myself. I'm literally going to take my mouse. I'm going to hover over that 3.016. I'm going to click in that box. And now I can just go to my keyboard and type 3. So I got my 3-inch length. And now I want my, I have these length, height, and width. I'll have to change that. But it doesn't really matter. 5-inch height. Again, this is how far it is from floor to ceiling. So I'm going to click right here and I'm going to type 5. And then I'm going to hit enter. Now I don't have to hit enter. I could literally just click off of it and then that would work. Now you notice how the ruler went away? That's because I'm no longer clicking on the object. So if I click on the object again, the ruler comes back. So I've got 5 height, 3 width, and now I need 3 length, and now I need 4.6 inch width. Well, it's 2.6 right now. Again, I could grab the corner handle and try it, but look what I did. I messed this up over here. So if I hit the undo button, boom, awesome, that goes back to 3. Let's go ahead and just click in there and type in 4.6. All right, and then again, if I just click off of it, or if I hit enter, one of the two, the measurement takes effect. Now if I zoom out by either doing the minus or the scroll wheel, you can see my object here. Now you can grab this object. Don't click on the boxes. Click anywhere on the object, left click, and you can drag this thing anywhere you want. Anywhere you want. And that's how you put objects on the screen. I don't know if I actually told you that or not. You literally click on it and drag it over. Click on it and drag it over. Click on it and drag it over. It's really simple, right? Now if I don't want any of those, I can hit undo 3 times, or I could have deleted them. Lastly, basic shapes is where you're normally defaults to. If you click the drop down arrow, you've got all these different options down here. So your last thing for today is to scroll through here and take a look at all of the different shapes that TinkerCad has to offer and just put one of them on the work plane for me. And when you're done with that, you are done with the assignment for today. I actually can go in and take a look at your assignments on TinkerCad. So there's nothing to submit on Schoology. You're good to go. But that's just a basic overview, right? We go where copy and paste is up here, the undo and the redo button, the trash can, how to spin it around in circles, the home button that always brings us back to home, zoom in and zoom out, where the ruler is, how to update our grid, and how to change our assignment name. Okay, so that's just a basic overview. And again, if I click anywhere on this object that's not a box, like if I grab this box and try to pull it, see what happens? Change the size. Don't freak out. Hit the undo button. Okay, click somewhere in the on the shape that's not one of these boxes. The white ones are called corner handles. The black ones, I can't actually remember what they're called right now, but that's okay. All right. Any questions? Hit me up in Schoology. And I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Have a great day, guys.